For more on this, let's bring in Ian Bremmer, president of the Eurasia Group. We talked about this last week when you were here. We had breaking news that this was what the president was going to do. There was some disagreement on the National Security Council leading up to it. What do you think about today's announcement?
This is exactly what we expected a week ago, that Trump did not pull the Americans out of the deal, even though he certainly had it within his authority to do so. He kicked it to Congress, but he can say, and can say legitimately, that he's actually being much tougher on the Iranians than the Obama administration was prepared to do. Now, there may be consequences. You saw the Treasury Department has now leveled these sanctions directly against the Revolutionary Guard, a part of the Iranian government and armed forces, and the Iranians are likely to respond to that. This deal is a little bit brittle, and so it can fall apart through accidents, through escalation in the region, and also because hardliners in Iran aren't necessarily happy with it. But everyone wants the other side to be blamed for it. The Iranians want Trump to pull out unilaterally. Trump wants the Iranians to do something that forces other allies to get with Trump's harder line position. Right now, both sides are stepping up towards the precipice, but no one yet is blinking.
Listen to what Ben Rhodes, who was the Deputy National Security Counsel for Barack Obama, he tweeted this. It's hard to overstate how irresponsible it is for Trump to risk blowing up Iran deal by demanding rest of world justify his campaign rhetoric. What do you make of that?
Well, again, he hasn't blown up the deal. If you listen to what he's been saying and you watch his tweets, it might sound like he's going to blow up the deal. But time and time again, he says things like NATO is obsolete and the North Koreans will see fire and fury. And now we have, it's the worst ever deal. Ben Rhodes is used to this. Obama said Assad must go. Assad didn't go anywhere. Presidents say things. Trump says more than many, perhaps, but they don't necessarily reflect a policy. There's one thing that Trump is saying consistently, though, that I think needs some diving into, which is he continues to say, he said it today and he said it a few months ago when Tillerson recertified the deal. He said the Iranians are not living up to the spirit of the deal. And it's not clear what Trump believes the spirit of that deal is, because, of course, the deal didn't make America and Iran friends. It was a very narrow agreement around Iranian nuclear capabilities, and everyone in the world, the inspectors and the EU, the allies, the Russians, the Chinese, they're all saying, and Tillerson, that they're living up to this deal. What is that spirit? If you ask the Iranians, they would say they have a very different perspective, a Trump administration that says that Saudi Arabia is their best friend, as opposed to one that wanted under Obama a more balanced relationship to try to open up towards the Iranians. They'd probably say the Americans aren't living up to the spirit of the deal. But there wasn't much spirit. If you remember, this was a really hard deal between two countries that don't really like each other very much.
Well, let's talk about some of those other countries, because you're an expert in geopolitics. So if you are listening in the Middle East today, and you're not in Iran, and you're maybe Israel, you're Saudi Arabia, the Emirates, what do you think they took away from today's message?
I think they're happy with it. I think they've been warning the Trump administration from day one, don't you pull out. You want to talk tough, that's fine. Put more pressure on Iran, that's fine. Don't pull out. And I think that they see what Trump has done is a tactical climb down that also continues to keep pressure on Iran. The Iranians, have been sanctioned under the United Nations for ballistic missile testing activities that they continue to do. Yeah. The Americans sanctioned them. The Iranians and the Saudis want to push on that.
I am going to have to let you go there, Ian. We have breaking news out of Las Vegas, but thank you so much.